Hey guys, it's time for another Saudi Arabia coronavirus update. As you saw from the quick intro video, it was raining outside. That was a little while ago. I don't know if it's still raining, but I'm not going to the roof today. So we're just going to do this one from inside. So let's talk about some of the new cases and some of the news that's happening in Saudi Arabia because of coronavirus, COVID-19. So today we'll start with the numbers. The world saw an increase of 100,000 confirmed cases, bringing us to 2,274,000. Surely it's probably higher than that by the time you're watching this video. And don't call you Shirley. But Saudi Arabia saw the biggest increase by far. Yesterday was an increase of, let me check my notes, 762 new cases. Today, we saw an increase of 1,132, bringing the total confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Saudi to 8,274. So they are the country in the Gulf or the Middle East with the most confirmed cases, unless you count Iran or Turkey to be in the Middle East. Of these new 1,132 cases, 315 were in Mecca, 225 in Riyadh, 236 in Jeddah, 186 in Medina, 88 in Dammam, 27 in Jubail, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, 13 in Tabuk, 10 in Taif, 1 more here in Khamis Mushait, 6 more in Hufof, 1 in Bisha, that's in Aseer province, not maybe 3 hours away, 4 hours by bus from where I am, and 2 more cases in Abha. And if you look at the actual total now, for a long time Riyadh was the clear winner. I wouldn't say winner, but the leader in COVID-19 cases in the kingdom. It still is, but only by 26 cases. Riyadh had 1,925 confirmed cases so far. Some of them have recovered. A few have died. And Mecca has 1,899 cases. So probably tomorrow or the day after, Mecca is going to surpass Riyadh in the total number of confirmed cases. Riyadh is much bigger, much more populated, by at least 3 times than Mecca. So proportionally, Mecca is a very hard-hit city in Saudi Arabia. On the good news, there were 280 more confirmed recoveries from COVID-19 today. So that is the largest increase by far of recoveries in the kingdom. But we also had the largest amount of new confirmed cases. And as for deaths, we have 3 more confirmed deaths in the kingdom, bringing us to 92 total deaths. Total recoveries, 1,329. All right, so let's talk about some of the news stories. Al-Dair and Samta, which are relatively small cities. I think they're both in Jazan province, not far from Yemen, not far from Jazan. They're both starting their 24-hour curfew now. So no entry, no exit into these cities as well, or these towns, we could call them. And you're only allowed to go to the grocery stores and pharmacies and stuff from the curfew time of 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the rest is 24-hour curfew, pretty much. So only for like essentials can you leave your house. So that's a problem for them. But it might just be necessary to help them tackle this virus. Kind of a strange story, I guess. 146 South Koreans, 148, one of those numbers, South Koreans, and 2 Japanese people were sent home on a flight yesterday or today. I don't know why there were about 150 South Koreans in Saudi Arabia. I don't know. They might have just been stuck here. Maybe they were taking a tourist holiday together when the borders closed. I don't really know what was going on. There aren't a lot of East Asians in Saudi Arabia. Fair amount of Indonesians or Filipinos, but I've never seen a South Korean in Saudi Arabia, and that doesn't mean that they aren't here, but I guess there were some. They went home. That's great for them. And a very generous piece of news: Saudi Arabia is donating $150 million to the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness. They're donating another $150 million to the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunizations, and they're contributing $200 million to other international and regional health organizations and authorities. So all in, that's $500 million. Like, not chump change, even when you are a very wealthy petrostate. That's still a lot of money, and it will be appreciated by the organizations and recipients of that income. So that was nice of them. All right, now what I want to do, I did a little count of all the cities, not all the cities, just the top 10 cities and towns in Saudi Arabia with the most confirmed cases of COVID-19. And I compared that number, this is total infections, including those who have recovered and those who have died. Total infections, I compared that to what Google told me the total population of those cities was in 2020. Now, some of these figures were compared to the city's metropolitan area, and some of them were just the city proper. So I'm not totally 100% on whether this ratio is perfect, but basically what I wanted to do is find out the top 10 cities in Saudi Arabia which statistically have the most confirmed COVID-19 infections per person. So the top 10 cities, and this is not in order. You just take 30 seconds and see if you want to guess what the most hard-hit city is, or what the least hard-hit city is. Cities are Riyadh, Mecca, Medina, Jeddah, Dammam, Hufof, Qatif, Tabuk, Taif, and Dhahran, or Dhahran. Not exactly sure how to pronounce that. The total number of cases, this is not the percent, the total number of confirmed cases, according to Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Health Coronavirus Tracker website, Riyadh has 1,925, Mecca 1,899, Medina 1,419, Jeddah 1,386, Dammam 487, Hufof 209, Qatif 198, Tabuk 126, Taif 97, and Dhahran 53. So I compared this with the total number of people living in these areas. And now the top 10 most infected cities per capita, we would say. We'll start at number 10. Number 10 is Taif. Number 9 is Tabuk. Number 8 is Hufof. I thought that one would be higher, but it's not. Number 7 is Riyadh. So, Riyadh has the most number of cases, but it's a gigantic, very highly populated city. It's one of the top 25 most populated cities in the world, if I recall correctly. So the actual confirmed case number per person, or per whatever you want to say, in Riyadh is actually quite low. Qatif, number 6. Number 5 is Dhahran, which is a pretty small city, which is why that number is so high. Number 4 is Dammam. Number 3 is Jeddah. Number 2 is Medina. And number 1 is Mecca. And if you look at the figures, only Mecca has an infection rate of more than 1/10 of 1%, more than 0.1%. And for Mecca, that would be 0.1133% of people in Mecca have tested positive for coronavirus. I should say the residents of Mecca. If you're just passing through, or you're doing Umrah when when the country was locked down, or the city, and you got stuck there, you're probably not counted in the total population figures for Mecca. All the other cities were below 0.1%. And the lowest one, even Dhahran, was less than 0.04%. So pretty low. So what did I say? For which country? For TAFE. Wait, what am I doing? I mean for TAFE. TAFE is number 10. I said Dhahran. Dhahran was 5. TAFE has an infection rate of less than I'll just tell you what the number is. TAFE has an infection rate of 0.014%. So only 0.014% of residents in TAFE have tested positive for coronavirus. So if you just compare some of these cities and figures in Saudi Arabia to my home state, Massachusetts, or a lot of other more hard-hit countries, actually it seems like Saudi Arabia is doing comparatively well when it comes to confirmed cases. Not compared to the rest of the Gulf countries, but maybe if you compare their population size to the population size of some of these other countries in the Gulf, they might be doing better. We'll see. Maybe I'll do that in a future video, next episode perhaps. So that's all I have for this episode. If you guys have any questions that you want me to answer, you know what to do. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll answer them hopefully on the next episode or in the YouTube comments. So thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon if you want notifications each time I put a video up. So thanks for watching, everyone.